The franchise recap is on to season 21. It's all been building to this. Rivals. Airing June to September 2011, 29 cast members were off to Costa Rica, then some to Argentina for 10 episodes, 2 specials, and 300,000 as always. 3 standout evolutions here. First, the theme, Rivals, which we'll come back to momentarily. We also then had a location change for the final for the first time ever, with them flying from Costa Rica to Argentina. And finally, third, a sad evolution here. This was our first ever season without a Road Rules alum. Let's hit the format then, because it was revolutionary and perfect and only possible with this show like the challenge. Rivals. Take 2 people who hated each other for one reason or another, force them to partner up, work together if they wanted to stick around and have a shot at winning. It's genius. It's wonderful. It's exactly what reality TV is made for. And only a show like The Challenge, where cast members return for season after season and had 20 seasons of history to pull from, could make something like this happen. We'd eventually get 3 true Rivals seasons, plus Vendettas and Final Reckoning, which are kind of Rivals 4 and 5. And now, theme spoiler alert here for All Stars, but we'll be seeing it again on All Stars 5. Different iterations had different levels of legitimacy as far as how much the rivals were rivals, but this first ever version really did have all pairs that had legit beef in histories together. I mean, CT and Adam was the obvious stark example, the whole I want to eat your head, punching his brains in situation and all, but Cara and Laurel, real rivals. Jen had punched Mandy 2 seasons prior. Nehemiah hated Evan and his friends. Kenny slept with Wes's ex on the beach on TV, and they were already rivals prior to that even having happened. And the list goes on and on. Competitively, this season is really good and aided by the teams that I think a lot of fans were rooting for, and I'm sure behind the scenes production was pulling for a bit, made it to the end or very close. Being able to have a final that featured Johnny and Tyler versus Wes and Kenny, and Evelyn and Paula versus Cara and Laurel, plus CT and Adam losing right there, just short, just shy. That's your stars getting the heavy screen time, and it made for a dramatic lead up and one of the first kind of edge of your seat final couple of episodes where we were really invested in who's going to win as much as just the show itself. Evelyn and Paula definitely stood out on the women's side. They won 4 of the 8 or 9 dailies. On the men's side, it was more a constant battle between those top 3 teams. Let's talk memorable moments, because there are about 1,000 of them. We're not going to do every single one. There's so many, but it will get us up to and through that final for the last cast or competition related items that I want to hit as well. The season starts with one of the biggest moments, TJ's return, post-bike crash, major head injury. No one knew if he would be there. Hell, we didn't know what recovery even looked like in the moment for something like what he had gone through. And the cast was all left in suspense until the moment he walked out. Those tears from them were very, very real, as were the ones definitely flowing from fans like me, and I'm sure you and everyone else watching at home. We then had a fight in episode 1 as Ty got on rookie Adam's nerves to the point that he punched him and got sent home, which led to Leroy going from rival partner to BFF partner Mike, who was a standout rookie, so lovable all season long. And also their pairing is kind of the original ride or dies. And while obviously that was a big advantage in the game, I kind of found it pretty cool to have that element thrown in of like, oh, one of these teams is actually out of nowhere BFFs instead of rivals. That was far from the last punch of the season. The next most memorable was probably Jasmine punching the mirror in frustration. To say she had one of the great rookie seasons, TV entertainment-wise, is an absolute understatement. Jasmine came in and made a name quickly. Then there was the famous Wes CT all night long argument that saw Wes throw CT's mattress off the balcony and CT get all up in very calm Wes's face, the origin of a future Rivals Championship pair. Great jungle themed parties, a lot of hooking up, including the Adam Jen story that starts a little cringy, but I think it ends in a nice place. And the horrifying and cruel back and forth that goes down right before the final, where Wes pours the soda on Kara's head. Laurel and Kara actually become friends for a minute, stand up for each other, and some horrible things are said to Paula. On the men's side, this season climaxes, though, in one of the great elimination rounds of all time, Tyler and Johnny versus CT and Adam and T-Bone. Choo-choo, CT gets a couple massive hits in on Tyler and Johnny. I mean, one massive one on both of them at the same exact time. And both teams make a couple mistakes, moving balls to the wrong spots. But the last second slip and fumble from Adam gives Tyler and Johnny the time they need. They move on to the final. Bananas, looking back, it's a big win, notching the belt in the CT versus Bananas debate. And they obviously go on to win the whole season. Adam and CT head home, maybe sort of friends for a moment after CT caps off a full season of being very positive, very kind towards his partner, desperate to show he's turned a new leaf, desperate for him to say that they are in fact friends. That final then brings the location change in our first true climb up that mountain if you want to win style finish. Wes tries some risky strategies, breaking the rock, putting the pieces in his shoe, cutting up his legs, and he has muscles popping out of his leg at one point, resulting in Kenny, who has struggled all season long, literally having to carry Wes up the mountain for a bit. It was kind of just an unreal story arc, literally playing out in front of you. Only a show as great as The Challenge can produce that. Bananas and Tyler get the win. Love that for Tyler, one of my absolute favorites of all time. And my girl Paula, another absolute favorite of all time, gets the win with Evelyn. Key West, a dominant 3 out of 4 winners here. The theme and format are perfect. The cast is great. The storylines wrote themselves. There is drama, entertainment, solid competition mixed together every episode all the way through. I really can't find most any fault with this season. Yes, there's a couple moments of horrible behavior, but those be damned. It's got to go in the all-time tier. And maybe, I think, it takes over the top spot from The Duel as the all-time best for now. And I'm going to go with just an A, not an A plus yet, but I reserve the right to bump it up to the A plus. If this ends up being our champion at the end of all 39 seasons, we're going to give one of them that title. But for now, A, all-time tier. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the upcoming Battle of the Eras season coverage. Tune in tomorrow as the Challenge's hot streak continues with X's 1.